nurse. I'm just choosing my dinner for tomorrow. They've got toad in the hole here. I'm going to have some of that. I like that.
Oh, no, you can't. We're not going to let you eat tomorrow.
What? Oh, tapioca pudding. I don't like that. Makes me constipated. Fixing custard, yes, that's what I'll have. That'll stop that doctor giving me so many pills, won't it, hey?
Miss Hanley, bed 5, overdose. She came in at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
And then we had somebody else.
Excuse me, Staff. Mrs. Parker seems to have taken a turn for the worse.
I'll go and take a look at her.
I'll come with you.
Right.
Nurse, I'm ready to give you my order now.
I'll be with you in a minute.
Hello, Nurse Gay.
Hello.
Mrs. Parker, is it? Well, let's have a look.
There's no need for you to wait, Nurse Longhurst. It's past 10. You go off home.
Oh, it's all right. I don't mind staying.
There's nothing for you to do, and you're on early tomorrow, so go on.
All right. Night, Staff.
Night.
Night, Nurse Gale. Good night.
Yes. Well, I think we'll give her 0.125 milligrams digoxin tonight. See how she gets on.
Yes, Doctor.
Keep a close eye on her for the next few hours. Let me know if there's any change.
Right. I'm just going off. I'll wait to do the digoxin, though. Nurse Gale here will be in charge.
Right, I shall pop in later, see how things are going.
Thank you, Doctor.
I'll go and get this from the drugs cupboard. Keep an eye on things.
Well, why don't you ask the number 7 to do it?
Oh, it's not worth it. I may as well stay.
You're late already.
It won't take long.
How's the course going?
Oh, quite well, I think.
What's it like being a student again?
Rather strange, really. Different world. But I'm getting used to it.
Do you think you'll stick it out?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I don't see why not.
Oh, look, there's Linda. Linda!
Hello. I'm sorry I'm late. It was a last-minute panic. The patient had to have some tablets, and the night nurse was the student, so she couldn't do it. You know, one of those.
Yes, I know.
I'm sorry, really. I just couldn't help it.
Who wants a drink, then?
Yes.
We last orders in a minute. Same again.
Just a half, thanks, Brian.
Marion?
Oh, no, thanks. I'll stick with this.
Shandy?
Well, I am so sorry. I was really looking forward to a nice evening.
Never mind, love. Brian kept us entertained.
Oh, good. So how are you both? We haven't seen you for ages.
No, it must be 6 months at least.
What are you doing? Still at the same job?
Oh, yes. Still at the same old job.
But we're moving. We've bought a house in Hertfordshire. It's on an estate, but detached, you know. We're terribly excited about it.
But why move? I mean, you've only been in your flat for about 2 years.
Well, the thing is, our flat isn't really big enough. You see, I'm going to have a baby.
No!
And so we need more space.
Well, how exciting. When?
End of May.
Well, congratulations. So when are you moving?
In 3 weeks.
Sure you only want a half?
Oh, positive, thanks. Must be going in a minute. Marion has to get her rest.
Did you know Marion's pregnant?
Yes. Yes, they just told me.
Anyway, we'll send you a card with the address and phone number and everything. You must come down. And then you can give us your expert architectural advice.
Yes. Yes, that'll be super.
It's about time you two started thinking of having a family, isn't it?
Not at the moment, Eric. Not enough money. You have to wait till Brian's qualified.
Anyway, Linda's too fond of her job. Couldn't spare the time.
How is your job? How are you finding it now that you're the sole breadwinner?
Oh, fine. Not really much different, except Brian's at home more.
Oh, I hope he's looking after you, keeping your slippers warming by the fire and all that.
And he works too, you know, even if he doesn't get paid for it.
Actually, she isn't the sole breadwinner. I get a grant.
Oh, how far does that go nowadays? Hardly enough to pay for your beer money, I should think.
Some people live on it.
Well, some people starve on it.
It's a jolly good thing, really, that Linda works. I mean, if she didn't, you never would have been able to give up your job, would you?
No.
But don't you mind? I mean, isn't it an awful responsibility, earning money to keep you both?
Why shouldn't she have the responsibility for a change?
The trouble with us is, we're terribly conventional. We just like things the way they are. Don't you, darling?
Yes, darling.
Well, come on. Drink up if we're going to get an early night.
Yes, right.
I am sorry we haven't seen more of you, but as I say, do come down and see us. Or even better, come down before we move, one evening. I'll phone you.
Well, thanks for the drinks, Brian. We must be going.
Yes, sure.
It was nice to see you and hear your news. Take care of yourself.
Well, don't let him take advantage of you. Make sure he earns his keep.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye. Look after yourself.
Bye.
Bye. Lovely to see you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Why do we go on seeing them? It's totally absurd. We have nothing in common. They're very nice. They're so boring.
I don't know. Why do they go on seeing us?
They find us odd. We provide them with a little bit of light relief. You didn't help much being 3/4 of an hour late. You know I find it difficult to find anything to say to them.
Well, they're your friends.
He was my friend about 10 years ago.
Well, I didn't arrange to meet you this evening.
I thought you'd be here to give me some moral support.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, please, don't let's have another row. I've had an exhausting day. Can't you be a bit kind and sympathetic for a change?
What about you? You weren't very kind and sympathetic, leaving me alone with those idiots for hours on end.
Oh, come on. I told you I couldn't help it. They're not idiots. Please, Brian.
All right.
Good. I saw the allocations officer today. There's a place going on the midwifery course. She asked me if I wanted it.
Midwifery? What would you want to do that for?
Well, it's a qualification they like you to have. I wouldn't get anywhere without it. Besides, I think I'd quite enjoy it. But it takes a year. Full-time study, homework, exams and all that.
Well, that's ridiculous. Did you deliver babies? I shouldn't bother. Have your own. They'd soon teach you how. Anyway, we couldn't both be studying. We'd drive each other mad.
Yes, I suppose you're right. Now isn't the time. When you finished your course, perhaps.
Is it all right about tomorrow night?
Yes, I'm off for a shift.
Oh, great. We'll just be about ready for bed by the time the party starts.
I'll be all right. Let's have another drink.
Shandy? Or do you want something a little stronger?
Hold on! Hey, Maureen! Maureen! Oh, thank goodness I can't be late then. My clock stopped, would you believe it? I thought it was about 9:30. What is the time? I better put this right. 7:25. What a time to be getting up. I have a splitting headache as well. Must be a hangover from last night. Oh, cheer up. This is what we've been waiting for. We're nurses at last. It's better. Hello, sister.
Good morning, staff. Look, I'm supposed to be on second shift today, but I've got a staff meeting at 6 o'clock. I quite forgot. So if I do first shift, do you think you could do a split so that one of us is here this evening?
Yes, I suppose so.
I'm sorry. Had you made plans?
No, it's all right. I'll do a split.
Oh, good. Well, then go off at 12 o'clock and be back by 5, okay?
Yes, sister.
Right. Morning, Nurse Skinny.
Good morning, sister.
What's all the time to do?
Perhaps that's it there.
Ah, Ward 4A.
Well, here goes. Shouldn't we find somebody? What about Sister's office?
Oh, she's probably busy.
Oh, let's wait here then.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's a daft place to stand in front of the door. What are you doing?
Well, we're students. We've been assigned to this ward. It's our first day.
Oh, I see. Well, it doesn't explain why you're standing about outside here. We don't know where to go. Perhaps better go and see Sister.
Well, we thought she might be busy.
Have you tried? No. Oh, come on.
Come in.
Excuse me, Sister. I found these two girls outside in the corridor. They don't know where to go.
Which girls?
We're first-year students, Sister. We've been assigned to this ward.
Of course, I'd quite forgotten about you. Come in. No, don't go, Nurse Longhurst. You can take them and show them around the ward in a minute. Now, let's see. It's Nurse Morahan and Nurse Rutherford.
Yes, Sister.
And this is the first time you've been into the wards, isn't it?
Yes, Sister.
Well, we have done a couple of afternoons observing and so on.
Yes. Well, now, don't worry if things seem a bit strange at first. The main thing is try not to be nervous, or at least if you are, don't let the patients see it. It wouldn't exactly please them to feel the nurses don't know what they're doing. And then they may as well start by helping with the breakfasts. Right, off you go then, girls. See you later. Well, nurse, that's about all now, isn't it?
Yes, Sister.
How are you on again tonight?
Yes.
Well, then you'd better go off and get some sleep.
Yes, I'll see you tomorrow.
Happy dreams.
Brian? Hello, it's me. I'm sorry, I didn't want to miss you. You said you were going to be out all day. The thing is, I've got to do a split. I've got to do a split. Sister's got a meeting. I won't get off till 10. I know, but there's nothing I can do about it. No, of course I can't. Look, it's only a party. Well, I'm sorry. You'll just have to go on your own, that's all.
You know what I did with that? I did one poem, one line poem, one line, one line page, right? So one line and one, two, three. Mrs. White.
What?
I'm to give you a wash, a bath, if that's all right.
Oh, no, not again. Honestly, you nurses are fanatics for cleanliness. I only had one of them bead baths yesterday. Now I ask you, how could I have got dirty since then just lying here?
I don't know. They just told me.
Oh, all right then. I just said can't do no harm. I ain't seen you on this ward before, have I?
No, I'm new. It's my first day, as a matter of fact.
Your first day? Well, I never. Do you mean to say you ain't never done no nursing before?
Only the classes.
Go on. Am I your first patient then? Don't worry, love. I won't bite you. That's better. Now you get on with it, and I'll just sit here and do whatever you tell me to. Listen, ducks, I'm a tough old girl. You can't hurt me.
Then you must wash the bedpan in here. It's very easy. You just open the door, put the bedpan in here, make sure it's the right way up, close the door, and switch it on. See? Excuse me. Oh, hello, Nurse Morahan. How did you get on?
Oh, all right, I think. I was wondering where to put these.
Hang on. I'll show you. Oh, put that one in the machine. I'll be back in a minute.
All right.
expect to find you here. Thought you were going to be out all day.
Lecture was cancelled. Came home to do a bit of work. Forgot you were coming back.
I'm sorry. What else am I supposed to do? Go and walk round the park till 5 o'clock? Don't worry, I won't disturb you.
Well, what happened?
What?
What happened? You said you had it all fixed.
I told you. Sister's got a meeting.
Surely she knew about it before.
Yes, but she forgot.
I see. So you get penalised for it.
Not penalised. She just asked me to change shifts.
Asked you? You mean she didn't tell you?
Well,
You could have said no.
Of course not.
Didn't try, did you? Just meekly agreed like a good little girl.
Oh, Brian, don't be ridiculous. That's not how it works.
You could have got out of it, though, couldn't you? Truth is, you didn't want to. You were glad of the excuse. The fact that it might mean something to me is unimportant to you. You couldn't give a damn. Like last night. But you could have got away, you didn't have to stay. But you can't bear to leave that bloody hospital of yours, can you? Can't bear to miss anything.
Oh, shut up, Brian, for God's sake. Why do we have to have a row over the smallest thing?
This happens to be important to me, this party. You've never once been to the college. You haven't met any of the people I work with. I just thought you might find it in you to make an effort this evening. Just so they can see I have got a wife. Just so we can be together for once in public.
My God, you've got a nerve. How dare you say that? When all the time I've known you, you've only been to the hospital once. You've never been to any of the hospital dances. The only people you know that I've worked with are the people I've asked back here. What effort have you ever made for me?
Don't be absurd. That's got nothing to do with it. It's quite a different matter. You say you hate those hospital dances. You wouldn't go yourself.
Well, of course I wouldn't go without you, but that's not the point.
Anyway, this thing tonight happens to be a proper party in someone's house. The people may not be fascinating, but I'd quite like you to meet them. Strangely enough, I'd quite like them to meet you too.
Well, I'm sorry. It really isn't my fault that I can't come, and I can't do anything about it, so that's that.
God, you're impossible. Linda, I am trying to talk to you.
Well, I don't want to talk to you. I've heard it all before, and it's boring.
You are selfish. You really are. You're totally wrapped up in your own little life. Me, our life that doesn't come into it. You couldn't care less. I don't know why you married me. You shouldn't be married to anyone. You're too ruthless. Cold as ice. Frigid. I'm just a piece of furniture as far as you're concerned. Someone to have around to mend the odd light bulb, mend a fuse. Haven't got time to work at a proper relationship. No. I must take what I'm given and be thankful. And you'll go on, climbing up your own little ladder.
All right! Have it your own way. I didn't want to have a row. I've tried not to get annoyed because it's all so stupid. But if you insist, right, let's talk. Let's say exactly what we mean. You say I'm selfish, but God knows you're about the most selfish man I've ever met. Everything has to be done exactly as you want it. Like now. What's all this about, really? Just because I can't go with you to some party?
Don't be absurd. The party's not important.
What?
It's just typical of you and...
And what?
Your job. Your precious job.
Oh, that again. You know everything I've got to say about that's it. Pointless going through it all again.
We can't go on like this.
No, we can't. The remedy's in your hands, not mine.
That's ridiculous.
Listen, Brian. We've been over and over this. How many times do I have to point out that it's you that's changed, not me? We've been perfectly happy for the past 3.5 years.
It's only since you gave up your job that you've bothered about what time I'd be home.
Nonsense! Perfectly happy? If we were perfectly happy, why do you think I wanted to change things? It wasn't just my job, it was my whole way of life. You know that. And my life isn't just me. It's you, us. That's why you've got to help me.
I do help you. God, without me, you couldn't do it. You seem to conveniently forget that. I mean, if I gave up my job, what would we live on?
You could get another job, something more regular, less demanding.
Why should I? Why should I change my job because you suddenly decide you want to see more of me? It's not as if I haven't always been a nurse. I was a nurse when we met. The hours were no more regular then, but you didn't mind.
I don't understand why you won't give it up. Why is it so important? When our marriage is at stake.
I don't accept that. Why should our marriage be at stake suddenly like that? What's happened?
Nothing's happened. We've been struggling like this from the beginning. It's about time we faced up to it.
What do you mean? We've been perfectly happy.
Yes, of course we have. Because we didn't realize it was happening. We've been running away from it, trying to avoid the problem.
That's ridiculous. That's like saying the last 3 years never happened. As far as I'm concerned, our marriage has been perfectly good. Then you decided to do this course. I never dreamed of trying to stop you, and I'll help you as much as I can. But I won't give up my job, my ambitions, just to make life easier for you. You must help me as well. I can't do all the giving.
You won't understand, will you? It's our relationship I'm talking about. We've grown so far apart. Honestly, I don't think I can take much more.
Then you better go then, hadn't you?
What do you mean?
Well, if you can't take much more, go. Get out.
Are you telling me?
No. It's your choice.
Do you want me to go?
I want an end to these stupid rows.
And you won't give up your job?
I can't.
The other nurses have been very kind. Don't you think? I wonder if we'll ever be like them. So cool and calm. Sure, I won't.
Have you noticed how few of them are married? There's Nurse Hollis, of course, but she's the only one I've met. It's funny, isn't it? It must mean something.
I shouldn't think so. Just coincidence. What made you think of that?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe we'll end up like that. A couple of old spinsters stuck in a flat somewhere with nothing to talk about except shop.
Like Sister Easeby.
Oh, I'm so bored.
Bored? How can you be?
Well, it's all right for you. You keep getting all the nice jobs with the patients. All I ever get is bedpans and tidy rounds.
Well, it's all a part of it, isn't it?
It's a part I can do without, thank you very much. Nurse Rutherford? Yes? Mrs. McIntosh is complaining about crumbs in the bed. Go and straighten it up for her, will you, please? Oh, sure. Will you keep an eye on the milk? Oh, Lord, do you think she knows Mrs. McIntosh is bedbound?
Oh, yes, we talked about it in report.
Mrs. McIntosh? I hear you've got crumbs in the bed. I've come to straighten it for you. You want the bed straightened, don't you? Listen, I've come to do the bed. Right, if you'd like to get out and sit in the chair, then The chair? Look, I can't straighten the bed whilst you're still in it. You must get out and sit in the chair.
She can't hear you, dear. She's got a bad leg and she ain't allowed out of bed.
Oh, yes, of course, thank you.
She's deaf. You've got to shout.
Yes, I know.
Right. Come along, Mrs. McIntosh. Up we get. There we are. Onto the pillow.
She ain't stupid, dear. She may be old, but her mind's quite clear.
Better? Oh, yes, I do know. I'd just forgotten, that's all.
Well, Nurse Marhall, it's time you were off, isn't it? Where's the other girl, Nurse Rutherford?
She's in the ward, sister, making Mrs. McIntosh's bed.
Oh, good. Well, then, as soon as she's finished that, you can both go. And I'll see you at 7:30 in the morning. Oh, well done. Your first day's gone very well.
Thank you, sister. Is it done?
Yes.
Well then, sister says we can go home.
Lost.
I'm exhausted. It wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be. I really quite enjoyed it, didn't you?
Didn't you think it was boring?
Oh, Pat.
I'm off then.
What time are you coming back?
The usual.
I'll be gone by then.
Have a good time.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, I don't know. Seems ridiculous to me. You've been in here a week. Surely they could have found out what's the matter with you by now.
I keep telling you, don't I, Jack? They know what's wrong with me. It's just that they ain't sure.
Well, why don't they do something about it? It's all right with you laying here, but I'll tell you, I'm going potty at home, what with the kids and everything.
Well, you've got the home help.
Well, she can't do much. She only comes in the mornings. When are you coming home, anyway?
I've told you, Jack. Are them grapes nice?
Good evening, Mr. White.
Oh, good evening, nurse. Well, what I wanted to ask you was, well, when do you think you'll be letting my wife come home? Thank you very much, nurse. No, no. I suppose we'll manage somehow, but I could do with her at home.
Yes.
Thanks very much. Good night, nurse.
Good night, Mr. White.
long, Miss Wainwright.
Good night, nurse.
Good night, ladies.
Good night.
Hello? Oh, hello, Mum. No, you didn't wake me. Oh, yes, it is quite late. No, I've been working. Yes, well, he's gone out, so there was no one here. How are you? Yes, tomorrow would be fine. Come to the hospital reception as usual. Oh, about 1 o'clock, I should think. All right. See you then. Bye.
Snap. Shh.
Nurse Rutherford. What time is it by your watch?
20 to 8, sister.
You do realize you're supposed to be in by 7:30.
Yes, sister.
Well,
My clock's broken.
I should get it mended then if I were you.
Yes,
Go
sister.
along now and help the other nurses with the breakfasts.
Yes, sister.
Right. Well, that's good. Perhaps I can have my breakfast now. I ain't half hungry. My belly thinks my throat's cut. Oh, here it comes. That's good. Oh, push it up here. Lovely. Oh, lovely. That's something. Got any sauce?
Mrs. Hughes should be ready for discharge soon.
As soon as Mr. Maynard sends her forms through. And the MSW is popping in this afternoon to fix up aftercare for Miss Turner. Yes, nurse, what is it?
Please, sister, I can't find Mrs. McIntosh's pulse. I think...
Just go along and check, will you, staff? Go with her, Nurse Moran.
Oh, dear, what a fool I am.
It's all right. It is quite faint. Can you carry on now?
Yes, I think so.
So, how are you getting on then, you and Brian? Is he well?
Yes. Fine.
Now you're managing. How about money? You can't have much now that he's stopped working.
Oh, it's all right. We scrape by.
All seems very strange to me. In my day, the man kept the family, and the woman stayed and looked after the home. You children nowadays seem to turn everything upside down. Look at him. Still, if you don't mind, it's all that matters, I suppose. You're the ones who've got to live with it, after all.
Yes.
So, it's all going smoothly then?
Yes.
I don't know why you keep on with this hospital job. Why don't you join an agency or take up district nursing that you were talking of? Something where you could work from home. It's very hard on Brian.
Oh, don't.
What's the matter? What have I said?
Oh, nothing. It's rather a sore point, that's all.
I'm sorry. What is it? Brian wants you to give it up.
Yes.
I can't say that I blame him.
But it's my career. I've always wanted to do nursing. Hospital nursing, you know that.
Yes, of course, dear. But that was when you were younger.
What difference does that make?
Well, you weren't married for a start.
Why should being married make any difference?
Well, you've got duties, responsibilities. There's Brian to consider.
I do consider Brian. Of course I consider Brian. He doesn't suffer because of my job. If he did, then of course, but he doesn't. I have my days off just like everyone else. We have lots of time together. It's just that he can't bear it if I'm not around when he's at home.
And quite right, too. That's your place and home. That's where you should be.
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Mum. You know perfectly well that neither Brian nor I think like that. Anyway, I couldn't possibly be at home all the time he's at home now. Or I wouldn't be able to have any job at all.
No. I can see he's put you in a very difficult position. I mean, you've got to have a job of some sort. But it's unfair on him to be working such unsociable hours.
Why? We managed perfectly well until now.
Yes. He's been very understanding. Or maybe he's had enough of it. You can't expect to go on working forever.
Why not?
Well, what about children?
Well, children don't have to stop me working.
Of course they do. They've got to be looked after.
But not necessarily by me. Anyway, that's beside the point. I haven't got any children. Except Brian. He's behaving just like a child.
Well, I'm entirely on his side. I think you're being very unreasonable.
Well, I can't help it. If I give it up now, I'll hate Brian for the rest of my life. I'd rather lose him.
Mrs. White, another jug of water, would you believe?
Those drugs she's on, they make her dehydrated.
Thank God it's nearly tea break.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm worn out.
Aren't you supposed to take that back?
Oh, she can wait. You know, it's typical we should have got lumbered with this ward. I mean, women's medical, what a drag.
Oh, come on, it's not as bad as that. Ah, here you are, you two. Oh, skiving off, eh?
Just putting my feet up before they drop off.
Well, don't worry, you'll soon get used to that. I've just come to tell you can go to tea when you're finished.
Great. You coming, Maureen?
I'll just do these.
I'll see you later then. Bye-bye.
Was someone getting water for Mrs. White?
Not me. I think that might be it.
What's he doing there?
Was Rutherford getting it?
And where's she?
Gone to tea.
What, without taking it in? Nurse Morahan, would you?
Yes, sir. She's a bit slapdash, your friend, isn't she? No, she's just... I think she'll be all right.
I just came to get a few things.
Where are you staying?
Mike Lewis's.
Would you like a cup of tea or something?
No, thanks.
How long? I mean, what are you going to do?
I don't know. I don't know quite how I feel at the moment. I just think... Well, it's gone past the stage of kiss and make up, hasn't it? We've got to do something.
Yes.
I just don't know what. You got any ideas?
I don't know. Is there somebody else?
No. Just you and me and your job. Two's company, three's a crowd. So if your job won't go, I must.
Why? I don't understand.
We went through all that yesterday.
Oh, I don't know. Why is it? Because I'm a woman, I'm the one that has to give way. You wouldn't dream of giving up your career. Why should I give up mine?
No one's suggesting you should give up your career. Not yet, anyway. Just change your job, that's all.
That is giving up my career. Don't you understand?
Anyway, it's got nothing to do with your being a woman. It's just that your job is so antisocial, I hardly ever see you.
Is that really it? Are you sure? Are you sure that if I had given it up, taken up agency nursing or a regular 9-to-5, that after a few months you wouldn't be agitating for me to give that up as well?
Of course not. Anyway, you've got to work for the moment, or else you wouldn't have any money.
Oh, so I'd be allowed to go on working for as long as it suited you? Allowed to keep you until you felt able to support yourself? Then what? You'd want little wifey in a place at home, keeping the house clean and looking after the children?
Oh, Linda, don't be absurd. You know I'm not like that. All I'm asking is that you should make a small compromise for the sake of our relationship.
I'd give up my job tomorrow if I honestly felt that it would help things. If you could convince me that that was really the answer, but you haven't. You sit there announcing that this is what you've decided, that it's the only way we can go on. But it's my life you're talking about. I couldn't go on with you after that kind of selfish ultimatum. I'd wonder whether the whole thing wasn't some kind of ghastly mistake. The relationship I thought we had could easily have coped with the minor inconvenience of my irregular working hours. The person I thought you were would have understood what my job means to me, would have understood more about me and my feelings altogether. But if this is all we've got, then I don't want it. I'm better off alone.
I see.
Good. It's about time.
Well, there's not much point in saying any more. I'd better go. An end to these stupid rows, you said, didn't you? Yes. Well, I suppose I knew all along this might happen. We'd better talk sometime about what to do. These things, what's, whose.
Yes. Well, I was thinking, if you want this place, you can have it. I could get somewhere nearer the hospital. It would be better for me.
Yes, well, we'll see. I couldn't afford it. Well, I'll phone you about the rest of my things. Mike's number's in the book, if you want it. See you.
Allocations officer, please. Could I speak to Miss Boker? Staff Nurse Hollis. If it's not too late, I'd like to enroll for the midwifery course. Thanks. I'll do that.